Hello, villagers. Welcome to PTV JuLive. It is July 9th, 2019. How are you? I am doing great this morning and just ready to share some information with you, some news, and let's just get right to it. Today is July 9th, and in 1956, I don't usually use people, for their births and things like that, unless they're very significant. And in this case, to me, he's very significant. The actor Tom Hanks was born this day in 1956. Hey, Two Real Geeks, thanks for joining. He provided the voice of Sheriff Woody, of course, in Pixar, and he also starred as Walt Disney himself in Saving Mr. Banks. That's from 2013, I believe, was when the film was in. Good morning, PTV2. That is Ben, of course. Make sure that you catch his video, which also dropped today. Life with Ben, episode 7. It's all about his 4th of July experience in Oakland, which is, well, can be construed as somewhat of a war zone on the 4th of July and has been that way for many years. You'll see that definitely in the video. So catch it, Life with Ben on PTV. Regarding Walt Disney, Tom Hanks was quoted in an article that I wrote saying he is a fascinating guy because what we have is this benevolent animator who would introduce us to his cartoon characters, but what he was very tough, competitive, and a very loyal businessman that invented an art form that is still going great guns today. To Walt Disney, ladies and gentlemen, that is a quote from Tom Hanks. Because this day in 1956, Tom Hanks was born. Another interesting little piece of information here. We have in 1982, and I actually remember going to see this in the theater when it was released. Last of a Writer's Creed. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that. Let's see, the movie Tron, 1982, was released this day, July 9th in 1982. And let's see, we also have significant, because this was a computer animated film, significantly computer animated. Nothing had been done like that before. It was quite an experimental film at the time, and I personally really enjoyed the film. Oh, Patrick, you were 5. Wow. Yeah, I was just graduating high school in 1982 when Tron came out, so I went with some friends from high school, and we had a great time at the theater in Berkeley seeing this movie. Ben was there, I was there, and yeah, Two Real Geeks love Tron to this day. It's a great film. It was groundbreaking. I loved it. I guess something else that should be mentioned today from 1999. It's happened in Walt Disney World. You all know that on Earth Day in 1998, Disney's Animal Kingdom opened to the public. And there was another area in Walt Disney World that was known as Discovery Island. It was a little 11-acre, it was like a zoo kind of thing. But attendance had dropped at Discovery Island after the opening of Animal Kingdom. So 25 years after it opened, it was decided to close Discovery Island. And it closed this day in 1999, July 9th. Another thing happened a little later. This one happened at Disneyland, and this was the Disney Gallery in this case. The Disney Gallery at that time in Disneyland was above Pirates of the Caribbean. So it seemed appropriate that they would celebrate the release of The Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean film, the first film, at Disneyland, and they celebrated it with a special event at the Disney Gallery. A couple weeks prior to that, the film had its world premiere at the Disneyland Resort. What would normally be used for Fantasmic, if you're familiar with the geography of both Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, there is something called the Rivers of America. At Disneyland, there is a cabin right at the tip of Tom Sawyer Island that faces New Orleans Square. And that is used at night as the stage for Fantasmic. Wandering Naps, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you being here. So, Fantasmic uses that part of the island for the show that at night, and everything happens out on the water and all around. However, it was closed for a while they set up an entire stage in New Orleans Square. They put a huge movie theater there where the stage for Fantasmic is usually. Good morning, Zachary Pollock. Thank you. Hi, Arjons. Thanks for being here. And that stage was set there with a big movie screen. And then they set up bleachers all around the entire area. Hello, Noah. They set up bleachers around the entire area that would normally be used for seating on the ground for Fantasmic. Yeah, for those of you that didn't know, Fantasmic is at the Rivers of America, and you sit on the ground to watch the show. It's not set up bleachers or a theater like it is in Disney's Hollywood Studios. But it makes for a very intimate show with you being right on the water. People right along the edge of the Rivers of America do get wet frequently. Anyway, that was let me come full circle on that. The film was done on June 28th, 2003 at Disneyland. Thanks, Patrick, for being here. Appreciate you being here. So the film was premiered on June 28th, but they held a special celebration at the Dizzee Gallery, one of those special events that they do, selling merchandise, things like that. So it celebrated the film. That was in 2003. And then on this day in 2007, made a lot of people happy at Epcot. And that was the beginning of the destruction of the 50-ton Mickey Mouse arm and wand that was leaning over or on Spaceship Earth at Epcot. So it was built for the Millennium Celebration. It had the year 2000 on top, but then they changed it to the word Epcot after the celebration, and then it just kind of hung around a lot longer than people wanted it to. I personally liked it. I didn't have a problem with it, but I understand why people would not like it. It did kind of ruin the look of Spaceship Earth. Noah says, "Happy Phoenician Tuesday, everyone." Yes, don't forget, thank the Phoenicians. So that is about it for Disney history. I just also wanted to mention just a quick story. I probably won't list a link on it or do anything about it. Oh, Disney World Adventures, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Over the weekend, there was, as Doug would call it, a kerfuffle at Disneyland in Mickey's Toontown, where there was a very bad incident with a family that started to cause quite a ruckus. So I'm not really going to bring up too much about it. It's just that there was a discussion about it, and it said that Disney's not really able to handle that kind of incident. But thanks, Disney Dan. Really appreciate you being here. So the fight with the family was pretty bad, apparently. I haven't seen the video myself. I even heard a description of getting on the radio this morning as I was coming into work. So, sometimes people behave badly. And unfortunately, it happened at the happiest place on earth. So it's kind of sad. But anyway, I digress. So today, at just a little less than an hour ago, we premiered the latest episode of Life with Ben. Make sure you go out and check that out on Pepper Tree Villa here on YouTube. And then, of course, on Thursday night, we will be having another Show and Tell episode. Show and Tell was a couple of weeks ago. It was very successful. We had a lot of fun with it. And everyone shared not necessarily the most valuable pieces, but the pieces in their Disney collection that they find treasured, that they just really, really like themselves. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the most expensive. It just has to be the most cherished and cared for. So thanks to Real Geeks. Appreciate you stopping by to say hi. So with that in mind, we're going to be doing another episode of Show and Tell. This time we will have two guys from the team at This and That. We will be having Kelly of the Mickey Bunch. And if he can get back from his vacation, his road trip, Jim with More Sunshine Please will be joining us. But that's not quite sure if that's going to happen or not. I hope it does because I'd love to have Jim there. So get ready for a nice, great episode of PTV Live on Thursday night. So we are going to be signing off here. Appreciate it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I could not do this without my villagers here. Thank you so much for your time. And as always, go out, make it a magical day, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye.